that, what's your number at?
Like this fall, what am I like shooting for?
Well, going into whatever falls at like a 140, like you're trying to strive for at least like a 140 or like it's probably a 4 or 5 year old, something like that.
Yeah, mature and looks cool. But like if we're going just inches for the sake of this conversation, yeah, like 140 or better.
Okay, that's the scale I use, and that's the scale I use. Is usually it's doubled from what we're coming from. Like, so when I go out of state, I'm looking for a 140 or better. Like that is my goal. Now the anomaly is when we go down to Kansas this year, if a 6 or 7 year old 125 inch 8-pointer comes by and he's old and he's burly and stuff like that, dude's getting an arrow. Like he's just, he's just getting a cool, he's getting an arrow because he's cool. But my whole thing is like when I went to Iowa and killed the Hambino, dude, I was going to shoot the first 140 that came by, and I tried. And you know what? I failed 3 times. He picked me drawing 3 times. I had other deer that were within 10. I had 2 other deer, one that was in the low 170s at 10 yards twice, and I couldn't get an arrow off. Like the thing is yes, the deer might be bigger, but I have that opportunity on 120s and 130s here in Michigan too. So it's all the scale, the bracket. Like, where's your bracket at? Like, our 130s and 140s, for me, I'm speaking for me, are the 160s and 70s in Iowa. Mm-hmm, like, it's just, if that makes sense, it's just, it shifts a little 100%. Bit. No, it makes and sense. So, I don't know, that might have been a long dissertation of how to describe it. I think what you're
saying, like, a 130, 140 for you guys is hard to kill there. It's the same way in Iowa, 150, 170 here. It's hard to kill.
You know how many 170s I've killed in Illinois?
You know how many 170s I've seen?
I've killed 0 170s.
0.
Gross 170s, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like, that's the point I was getting at. You guys have lived there and cut your teeth. And if there's anybody out there, especially the guys on your team, Ross, Austin, Doug, Eric, Kurt, you guys work your asses off. And I know that because I know you guys personally. I talk to you guys quite a bit. You guys work your asses off. And for you to come out with really good deer, but like Kurt, you just said you've never killed a gross 170.
Yep.
That's not because you're not patient. It's just because they're not that easy to kill.
They're not.
Well, and really the true chances I've had to pursue a 170-inch buck, maybe twice in 21 years, I've had a real chance. And those 2 opportunities have been, one was last year, and I actually opted to kill a 150 on my own farm versus a bigger buck that I pursued. I could have went after and was on a different farm. And the other time was a few years ago and he vanished.
Shame on you for killing that 150.
And I've had the opportunity at 170s the last couple of years. He just wasn't living on my farm. Like, there's nothing.
Yeah.
So nothing I could do about it.
But I just always see like the outsider perspective because it's easy to say it, right? Mm-hmm. It's easy to say that if you don't live there. Like, I can be like, it'd be like me going, same thing, like the point you're making, Aaron. Let's double down on that a little bit. Michigan, you're killing 120s. I could kill a 120 in Michigan. Well, clearly not where you're at, Aaron. Like, because Michigan, you're a good hunter. Obviously, I would struggle my ass off to probably kill that type of buck where you're at.
I'm gonna throw something out here. Okay. So I've been hunting since I was 12. I'm 36 now, so 22 years or something like that. Somewhere around there. It's taken me 21 years to kill a 130-inch buck in Michigan. Okay, and he's a 140 as well, but I'm just saying I've never killed another 130 in Michigan. Mm-hmm. Now, I have a really good friend that I'm not going to say his name. He has literally, David's met him. David's seen the deer that he's killed, knows him. He has some of the best ground I've ever seen. Like, it doesn't matter what state you go to. And the thing is their camp, they can pass up the 4-year-olds and shoot the 5-year-olds, and they do it. But it's taken him almost as long as me to kill a 130 in Michigan. And you got to remember, we can hunt with rifles. Like we can hunt, we can poke deer at 500, 600 yards away.
Yeah.
Like he hasn't even killed one with a gun yet. You know what I mean?